Hello everyone, I am Christina Curci and I visited the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I visited their Family Resource Center and library. Their library consists of two parts. So we've got the Mullis Children's Library and the Blackster Professional Resource Library. So when you enter the hospital, you have to go to the welcome desk and receive the appropriate badge to get around. There are security guards located all around the hospital at different checkpoints to make sure you have the right badge to get to where you're trying to go. The hospital itself is really vibrant, open, and has a really playful and happy aura. The Family Council of Pittsburgh was involved in the design decisions of the hospital, and the Family Council basically consists of people that go to the hospital a lot. They have sick family members, sick children, and they just really know their way around the hospital and what would be convenient and how appropriate layout should be to make the lives of the patients and people visiting the hospital easier. So our guide was Carolyn. She is a medical librarian, has been with the library for the past 6 years. She's also right now the acting children's literature librarian because the previous librarian left for a different job and they're in the hiring process. Carolyn is part of the APA, and at the hospital specifically, she's part of the Evidence-Based Practice Committee, Patient Education Committee, Ethics Committee, and the Pain Council. She is a UPMC employee that has access to many areas of the hospital and the patients that she serves. A previous person in her position was a PIT employee, didn't have the same type of access she had, so it is a lot easier for her to interact with the patients and the community within the hospital. Her library is part of the National Library of Medicine. The library is located on the 6th floor. The 6th floor itself is known as the atrium or the town square. It's kind of the heart of the hospital. It's really colorful, vibrant, and open, just like the outside of the hospital and the entrance of the hospital. There is a playroom, Austin's Playroom, which was donated by the Lemieux family. There is a sitting area with a big pull-down screen for movies or sporting events. There's also an outdoor garden or an atrium that is extremely beautiful in the summertime. It's just a nice sitting area for families to be able to take their loved ones. There are often events for patients and families in this area. The library itself keeps the theme of being colorful, vibrant, and open along with the rest of the hospital. So right across from the playroom, we have the hospital school program. So there is a classroom, and the hospital school program provides free academic enrichment to inpatients enrolled in kindergarten, grade 12, and any special education inpatient ages 5 to 21, regardless of where that patient is. So what that means is if the patient can't come to the classroom for education, there are 4 full-time teachers that will either go to the patient's room, or there are even homebound students that were released from the hospital but are not yet able to attend public school. They'll actually go to their homes and teach them there. So the playroom, like I mentioned, is managed by Child Life. And Child Life provides developmental, social, and emotional support to children of all ages. Their staff, they're all child psychiatrists or psychologists, and they really just help children deal with their illnesses. The library has many services. Like I mentioned, there are a couple different collections there. We've got the Mullis Children's Library, the Consumer Health Collection, the Blackster Medical Collection, Child Life, which mans the playroom, the hospital school program, Adopt a Book, the Family Business Center, the Safety Center, online library catalog, and the Learning Lab. So all of these I'll touch on later in the presentation, but I just want to mention the online library catalog. So during patient and family stay at the hospital, they can visit this catalog and search for materials contained in the library. They can print forms for searches or enroll in the hospital school program there. There's also a learning lab that provides free educational enrichment to students and siblings. It combines hands-on learning and technology and provides fun and engaging activities that keep children learning and playing. And if children are unable to attend the learning lab, it's also offered as a mobile app. So, Right when you walk into the library, you see this beautiful little sitting area. It's really inviting. There's a coffee table with magazines and newspapers, and then there's this beautiful fireplace. It's in this wall that kind of separates the room into two sections. And to the left of the sitting area, you'll see the reference desk, the front desk, and you're always greeted by a friendly face. Right now it's Miranda. She's the intern there. I sadly don't have a picture of her. The hours of the library in which it is staffed is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., but doors stay open until 10 p.m., and a security guard will come around and close up the library. So back to the sitting area and this beautiful fireplace. On the other side of this fireplace, we have the Adopt a Book section. So the Adopt a Book section contains books and magazines for children and adults. Patients and families are encouraged to take materials home with them to keep and share. The Adopt a Book section is completely donation-based, so right now it is slightly bare, but Carolyn promises that normally around the holidays, so after Thanksgiving, they will just be flooded with donations to fill up the shelves. So we'll go down the hallway. After you pass the reference desk, you hit the business center. And here, the business center is open from 8:30 a.m. till 10 p.m. every day and has about 7 computers, and it gives patients and families access to not only the internet, but copiers, scanners, telephones, and fax machines. Basically, they know life doesn't stop when your child is in the hospital, and unfortunately, some of these people are here quite often or long term, and this just gives them a place where they can come and get the things they need to get done to keep living their life. The next room we have down the hall a bit, we have the Mullis Children's Library. So it was named after the Mullis family's children who actually died in a tragic fire in their home. The library itself has board books, picture books, and chapter books for children, reading materials for teenagers, as well as novels for adults. It's got magazines, graphic novels, as well as a DVD collection. And each room is equipped with a DVD player, but if a person would like to watch a DVD in the library or just in another part of the hospital that's not in their room, there's actually portable DVD players available to them to check out. So when I was in the Mullis Children's Library, there were 2 children reading. There was a boy who was maybe 8 or 9, and he was reading comic books. And then there was a girl, and she was 10, and she was reading Harry Potter. They both looked really happy and engaged and just comfortable. They had beanbag chairs you could sit on, really colorful tables that had some toys, and then spaces that were very inviting and colorful for kids to sit down and want to read. Like I said, they have a children's collection, toddler and infant collection, young adults collection, a foreign books collection, a DVD collection, as well as a consumer health collection and reference form. So, the consumer health collection provides pediatric and medically focused materials about illnesses, conditions, and wellness that are written for the general public. But unfortunately, they can't get to this collection because the collection is located in the Blackster Medical Library, which patients and families do not have access to. But there are a couple books there for their reference right in the children's library, and then there's a reference form that they can fill out to request information, and then Carolyn will get that information for them and deliver it to their room. So the checkout process for the Mullis Library would be no limit. Patients, families can check out as many books as they want. All they have to do is give their last name and room number. They can either bring the books back if they have time or just leave them in their room, and staff members of the hospital will collect them and bring them back to the library. This is the form that families can fill out to get consumer health information. So further down the hallway, after leaving the children's library, we have a small area to the left with a couple computers, again for patient and family use. It's just not actually contained in the business center. To the right of the computers, we find the safety center. I thought this was really great that they offered this. I didn't know that they had this here. So the Safety Center provides education and resources to help families stay safe at home and on the road. And the Safety Center staff can actually come to people's home and make safety assessments to make sure that their home is safe for their children. So if their children were just diagnosed with an immune deficiency illness or just some type of handicap, they can help them look through their home and figure out exactly what they need to change to make that home safe for their children. So the Safety Center is manned from Monday through Friday, 12 to 4 p.m. with injury prevention staff members. Patients, basically, when they get there, they are recommended by their doctors, patients, and community members. You don't have to be a patient to get to the Safety Center, but when they get there, the staff member will ask them what are their 3 top safety concerns. They'll tell them, and then they'll get them that information and make sure that they have everything they need to make that part of their home, that part of their life safe. To the left, we have the front desk of the Safety Center, and then to the right, we have the Safety Center itself, which is blocked into all these little sections. We've got a kitchen, a bathroom, stairwells with gates. They even offer helmet fittings for children, and they give away helmets. They have helmets on hand that they can give away, which I thought was great. It's such a simple thing, but it really will help. So further down the hall, we go through another set of doors, which this is no longer public domain. This is just staff and medical professionals. There is a locker room and a residence lounge, as well as a computer area, all for them. They are not really encouraged to be in the public area of the library. Of course, they're allowed in there. They're not encouraged to sit around. That's really just for patients and families to feel safe, to be relaxed, and this part of the library is for medical professionals. So, this library, the collection consists of medical textbooks, reference materials, and journals that support patient care provided by clinicians in every area of the Children's Hospital. This is also where the consumer health collection is located. Like I said, patients and families can fill out that form requesting information, and Carolyn will get that for them. And then sometimes even doctors, they'll fill out a form, or they'll email Carolyn, talk to her, and just be like, look, I just had this family, their child was diagnosed with this rare disease. Can you just get them some information how to handle this? And then she will do that and deliver it to their room. To the left here, we have a picture of the Blackster Library. Again, really colorful, open, lots of places to sit, lots of windows. And to the right here, we have reference support forms. So whenever medical professionals need some reference support, they can just fill out this form, give it to Carolyn, and all of her services are free. So free to the public, free to medical professionals. She'll get that information for you. So for her reference questions, Carolyn right now is kind of going through a time where it's mainly nursing students. 2 of the most recent reference questions were wanting information on dilated cardiomyopathy management in third world countries. And another question was, what is the difference in medical care for different ethnicities? So Carolyn will perform a literature search and gather information. She's mainly providing them with journal articles, but she also encourages them to use books present in the collection. So UPMC has a couple different access levels, 3 to be specific. Physicians and faculty, mainly in pediatrics, they have the best access. They have UPMC and PIT access. They have access to everything at their fingertips. Then there is a notch down, 2, which is hospital resident fellows. They have less access, UPMC and a little bit of PIT access. Level 3, everyone else, library staff included. So Carolyn does not have PIT access. She's got some UPMC access. It's very limited. This is mainly based on funding issues. So Carolyn mentioned that when she first started at PIT, everyone had the first access. Everyone had everything they needed, all the access at their fingertips. But now, because of funding issues, they've kind of had to back up how much access they're giving to people. So whenever the library doesn't have access, they contact their sister libraries, or they actually have collaborative partnerships with Penn State and the National Library of Medicine. So Carolyn will often use DocLine, which is the National Library of Medicine Interlibrary Loan. She also uses FreeShare, which is basically a group of libraries that participate in DocLine and participate in free reciprocal lending. So I was really interested in weeding. I kind of always am. So I asked Carolyn, especially in the Blackster Library, how does she figure out which books to get rid of, which books to purchase? She said it's not based on circulation statistics at all. It's really based on the age of the information and the information itself. So if it's 5 years or older in the medical profession, that's probably getting a little old and dated, so she'll get rid of it and try and find something new and current. And a lot of the collection is specialty based, so she likes to keep up to date with what the hospital is known for. So genetics, transplants, autism, things like that. So I asked Carolyn what she thought the skills needed to succeed was. Her number one answer, hands down, customer service. She wanted to be a health science librarian to help people. You have to be patient, you have to be confident, and you just have to be very customer service oriented. You have to want to help the people coming into your library, especially at the children's library. She deals with a lot of sick kids, and that can be really sad, but she knows the services she provides them, it can help. It can help their families, it can help them get through what they're getting through, and also just knowing that she can make a difference in their lives is the reason she got into library services. Organization is also key, record keeping. Staying involved, Carolyn mentioned continual learning, which Dr. LaRue has mentioned in previous presentations. Basically, get involved. Anything that your library, the company you work for, will let you get involved, do it. Go to conferences, join meetings, do any type of committee you can get your hands on just to learn and to stay current and to meet people and to build those resources, because you can't have access to everything, and the more people you know, the more relationships you build, it'll make your life easier in the future. And then not only can people help you, but you can help those people. Knowing your resources and how to use them. So this sounds pretty simple, but not everyone can know everything, but we have these resources at our fingertips, and we have to know how to use them to get the information that people are asking for. So that is the end of my presentation. I had a wonderful visit with Carolyn at the Children's Hospital Library, and I hope that this was informative. It definitely was for me. It was a little more in depth than I had anticipated, but I guess I should have anticipated it due to this being a children's hospital, and really you're there to help them and the doctors that help them. So I learned a lot, and I really like this project, and I hope everyone enjoyed the presentation, and I can't wait to hear everyone else's. Thanks. Have a good day, everyone.